Question number 6, Dr. Russell Norman.
E te mangai o te whare tēnā koe. My question is to the Minister of Trade and asks, has the New Zealand government provided to other governments involved in the Trans-Pacific Partnership negotiations any documents regarding New Zealand's position on specific issues in the negotiations? And if so, have those documents been made publicly available to New Zealanders?
The Honourable Todd McClay.
Kia ora, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the Minister, as part of the negotiation process, negotiators necessarily provide documents to other participants in the negotiation in order to assist the negotiating strategies to obtain the best outcomes for New Zealand. All TPP members have agreed to keep negotiating texts confidential. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade has been open about the issues under negotiation and has actively engaged stakeholders. Hundreds of groups and individuals have been involved in consultations.
Supplementary question, Dr. Russell Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So is the Minister saying that the New Zealand government has provided position papers to the other governments involved in the negotiations on New Zealand's negotiating position in the TPP?
The Honourable Todd McClay.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, the New Zealand Government has been negotiating with 11 other countries. We do so that we can deliver the best outcome in this negotiation for New Zealand.
Supplementary question, the Dr. Russell Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Why is it that the government will reveal its negotiating position to the other parties in the negotiation via these documents, but it will not make those negotiating documents available to the people of New Zealand?
The Honourable Todd McClay.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, in our desire to deliver the very best agreement possible for New Zealanders, it's necessary for us to negotiate with our partners.
Supplementary question, Dr. Russell Norman.
How could it undermine the negotiating position of the New Zealand government to tell the people of New Zealand what is in these documents that have already been shared with the other negotiating partners?
The Honourable Todd McClay.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, disclosure to other countries of all of our negotiating positions and including New Zealand's bottom lines, which is the information the member is asking us to deliver, and the sensitive and likely negotiating positions and strategies New Zealand is applying is likely to undermine our negotiating position. Part of the reason, Mr. Speaker, our negotiators are in Hawaii at the moment and we don't have an agreement is that actually there are issues that remain outstanding to be negotiated in New Zealand's interest.
Supplementary question, Dr. Russell Norman.
Putting aside the issue of New Zealand's bottom lines, how can it undermine the New Zealand government position in the negotiations to release to the New Zealand public the papers that the New Zealand government has already given to the other governments that are party to the negotiation? The other governments already know what is in these papers.
Order. The question's been asked. The Honourable
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, what's becoming more apparent is that member's desire to undermine New Zealand's position in negotiation.
Order. Simply answer the question. Order.
I take offence at that comment. I ask him to withdraw and apologise.
No, well, no. I'm not going to ask the member to withdraw. I've stopped him from answering that. He's not to continue in that vein. I don't think it's something that was necessary. It was creating disorder, but it was hardly an offensive remark. But I ask now the Minister to complete an answer to the question.
Speaker, on behalf of the Minister.
Point of order, Tracy Martin. I hope we're not getting to a position of relitigating decisions. Tracy Martin.
Mr. Speaker, I'm going to ask you, please, if you can clarify. My understanding was that under standing orders, if a member took offence, a member took offence. Have we now changed so that you decide when we are offended?
Nothing's changed, but I'm happy to bring the member up to date. It's a matter of whether it's an offence to the House, not whether it's an offence to an individual member. On occasions, there are times when members have said they've offended. In fact, I think there was a case yesterday when I didn't consider, as in this case, the member should have taken offence. It's a matter of offence to the House, not to an individual member. Now, with the Honourable Todd McClay.
Point of order.
Order. No. Will the member resume his seat? Now, we've spent enough time on this. If the member raises a fresh point of order, I'm happy to hear it. But if it's order, I just want to be fair to the member, resume his seat. But if in any way we're continuing to relitigate a point that I've made, it will require me to be even-handed in the action I took on Tuesday.
So the question,
Point of order,
Mr. Speaker,
Dr. Russel.
the question, Mr. Speaker, is in determining offence to the House, basically what the Minister is saying is that anyone who disagrees with the government's position is undermining the New Zealand government's position. Most of us on this side of the House disagree with the government's position.
The member now is in very grave danger of not being here to hear the answer. I've explained that I'm not interested in relitigating the point. I've explained to Tracy Martin I need to decide whether the words stated were offensive enough. They could lead to offence. On occasions I do, on this occasion I didn't. Now, would the Honourable Todd McLeay complete his answer?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. No, the government values the views of New Zealanders, which is why there have been 2 full consultations under TPP during the negotiation. But, Mr. Speaker, what I would say to that member is the people who want us to make public these documents actually don't want to see the text. They just want to derail the agreement. An agreement, if concluded, will deliver benefit to the New Zealand economy.
Supplementary.
Order. Supplementary question, Dr. Russell Norman.
Well, then, is the actual reason that the government won't release the documents that it has already shown to all the other governments involved in the negotiation, the actual reason they won't release them to the public of New Zealand is because the people of New Zealand will not agree with the negotiating position that this government has taken. That's why they're kept secret.
Order. The Honourable Todd McLeay.
Mr. Speaker, the answer to that question is no, and the other answer is nobody's taken that member's flag.
Question number 7, Clayton Mitchell.